welcome to this week's yoga class. My name is Candi. Thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat on your mat. We'll take a couple moments just to arrive here. Today's class is going to really focus on the breath. So one of the phrases that my teacher and mentor uses quite often is breath is boss. And what that means is that your breath should really guide your practice. It's with each inhale that we start a movement, and with each exhale that we either settle into a pose or we can also transition into another posture. And so we're really going to work on that today. There's also a breathwork practice that I'll teach you that comes from my mentor, Amber Campion. It's called the 4-part dynamic release breath. And this is a really great way to add a little bit of breathwork variety to your practice and really help you connect to your breath. And for me, it really helps to release a lot of stress and sink a little bit deeper into postures. And so I'll teach you that at the start of this practice as well. Now, I've been doing this breathwork for a while. I was a student of Amber's for probably like 3 years before I completed my yoga teacher training. And I can tell you firsthand that this breath work really does work. I was recently out skiing over the winter months. It's summer now, and skiing is not something that comes very easy to me. I didn't learn how to ski until I was well into my 20s, and so there's often times where I get on the mountain and I feel very overwhelmed. I can feel my anxiety going where, even though it's very fun and I can make it down the mountains, there's sometimes that I actually have to kind of talk myself through it. And I caught myself just slipping into this breathwork practice where we take a big inhale and then let go with a sigh. And I was doing this as I was going down the mountain, really not even realizing it, but it was like my brain knew that this was a really healthy way for me to calm my nervous system down. And so the more that we do these practices, especially on our mat, you might be surprised where it actually kind of shows up in the real world and can really help you. And that's why I want to teach it to you today. So we'll go ahead and get started on our backs and take a moment to arrive, and then I'll also teach you the breath work while we're on our backs. So go ahead and extend the legs long on the mat, laying onto the back. And just take a moment to arrive. Taking a nice slow inhale through the nose and a slow exhale through the nose. Really let the stress of the day go. If you're watching this maybe in the afternoon or evening, and maybe if it's morning or afternoon, see if you can let go of your to-do list or let go of the things that are coming up in the day. And just arrive here, really present on the mat. Now bring one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. And on the next inhale, really feel the way that the belly and the chest rise. And as you exhale, feel that compression, everything returning to the center. Do that one more time. A deep inhale and a deep exhale. Keep breathing on your own as I explain the 4-part dynamic release breath. So there's 4 inhales and exhalations, and we'll exhale differently each time. So the first time we inhale through the nose, and then we exhale out of the mouth. Then we inhale through the nose, and we'll exhale through the nose. Then we inhale through the nose and exhale however feels best for you. On the third one, we exhale with a sigh. And then on the fourth one, we inhale through the nose and we exhale however feels good for you. So we'll go ahead and try that now. Go ahead and empty the belly and the lungs. Take an inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale with a sigh. Inhale through the nose. And this time exhale however feels good for you. And we'll return to this quite a few times in the practice, this inhale and exhale. But for now, we'll hug our knees into our chest, coming into our asana practice with movement. Keep your right knee hugged in towards your chest, extending the left leg long on the mat. Maybe take a moment to roll out the ankle, going clockwise and counterclockwise. And then we'll extend the right leg tall towards the ceiling. You can keep the left leg extended or bend the knee and plant the sole of the foot on the earth. Just taking a really nice, gentle hamstring stretch here. Maybe roll out the ankle again. I always like to point and flex here because I get a really great stretch to the top of my foot and my shin. And then give it a little bit of a squeeze in towards the chest, pulling the leg towards the top of the mat. We'll bend through the right leg again, extending long through the left. And then we'll slowly come into a twist, bringing the right knee over towards the left side. You can have a gentle gaze over the right arm. And this doesn't need to be your deepest twist of the day, but just the first twist to warm up the spine. Take a few slow breaths here. Really feeling the breath going to the places where you feel the most sensation. And on the exhale, sinking a little bit deeper into the twist. Slowly bring your leg back up through center. Hugging both knees into the chest. This time holding on to the left leg, extending the right leg long on the mat. Take a moment to maybe circle out the ankle, going clockwise and counterclockwise. And then we'll extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. You can grab the back of the calf here, the back of the thigh, whatever feels comfortable for you. Take a moment, again, maybe point and flex the toe, roll out the ankle. You can always bend through the right leg if that's a little more comfortable for you, bringing the sole of the foot to the earth. And then give the left leg a little bit of a pull towards the top of the mat. We'll bend the left leg, extending the right leg long if you had it bent, and then slowly crossing the left leg over towards the right, coming into our spinal twist. Our left arm is out wide to the side, and you can bring your gaze over the left arm. Right hand can coax the knee a little bit closer to the earth, if that feels okay. You can also place a block right under the knee if this feels a little bit too intense. So just notice how you're feeling. Again, nice, easy stretch here. Doesn't need to be the deepest twist of your practice. We'll slowly bring the leg back up through center, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and then extending long onto the mat. We're gonna just roll over on the side, coming onto the belly. We're gonna come into our Cobra pose. So your hands will be underneath of the shoulders, toes or feet are long on the mat, so pressing into the tops of the feet, forehead on the mat. We'll inhale to rise, coming up to baby cobra. Taking a moment to pause here, really feeling the pubic bone pressing down into the earth, really engaging through the back. And you should feel your belly breathing into the mat. And then slowly lower back down. We'll come into that one more time. Inhale, lifting the heart. Your neck is long, but you should be looking down. So we're keeping alignment in the spine, pressing into the tops of the feet. Breathing into the belly, feeling a little bit more of a lift on your next inhale. And then exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. We're going to open up our shoulders. And so we'll extend the left arm out wide to the side. Pushing with our right arm, we're going to come onto our side. You may even lift the left leg, placing it behind you. Just coming into a nice shoulder opener here. Moving nice and slow into this pose. This can be pretty intense, so really listen to your body. Listen to how that feels in your shoulder. Using the right hand should be planted on the mat in front of you, and you can use that to push a little bit deeper into this opening. And then we'll slowly come back onto the belly. This time extending the right arm off to the side, left hand is planted next to the shoulder, and then we roll onto our right side. Again, left leg can come behind you. Really moving slow. Pausing here in the shoulder opener. And then if you'd like more sensation, you can really press into the left hand to further this twist and opening. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, come on to the belly. Hands will be right underneath of the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes. This first time, go ahead and push up onto your knees. So you're coming into your plank position. And then push back to downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out the feet here. Really pressing into our hands, so we should feel the fingertips pushing into the earth. We'll take an inhale, coming up onto the balls of the feet. And using our sigh, we'll exhale, rooting the heels back down to the earth. Do that one more time. Inhale through the nose, rise to the balls of the feet. And then exhale with a sigh, rooting the heels down. Slowly begin to walk your hands to the back of the mat, meeting your feet, coming into a nice forward fold. Your feet can be about hip distance apart here. And feel free to bend into your knees, especially for this first forward fold. You might still feel like your hamstrings are pretty tight, so having a nice bend in the knees can be really nice to really release the low back. Let the neck hang heavy. Maybe shake it yes and no, side to side. Maybe even grabbing opposite elbows. Just letting the weight of the body really hang heavy over the legs. If you grab the elbows, let the fingers and hands go down towards the mat. We'll inhale, waving the spine up. Half lift hands can come to the shins or the thighs. And then exhale, bend the knees deeply, waving the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming to stand in a strong Tadasana mountain pose. We'll go ahead and turn around. I don't know about you in your home, but I'm facing backwards on my mat. So I'll come to stand at the top of my mat, bringing the feet to touch, a slight gap between the heels, really magnetizing the pubic bone up towards the navel, broad across the collarbones. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms up, around, overhead. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, fold over your legs. Inhale, wave the spine up halfway. And then exhale, plant the hands, stepping back to downward facing dog. We'll bring our feet to touch at the back of the mat. And inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. And as you exhale, silently step the foot between the hands, lower the back knee, untuck the back toe, and inhale up for low crescent lunge. Really take a moment here to find this pose. Maybe even coming out of it a little bit, magnetizing the pubic bone up towards the navel. So feeling a slight tuck of the tailbone. And then you can drop a little bit further, keeping a lot of space in the low back here. Take one more inhale. And as we exhale, we'll swing the hands down towards the earth, extending through the front leg, coming into our half splits. Now, if your hamstring is really tight, this might be difficult to have the arms on the earth. So if you have blocks at home, you can use those. Maybe even books or pillows or rolled up towels. There's so many options here. We want to first find a lot of length in the spine, and then we'll fold over the leg. Maybe even reaching for the outside blade of the right foot. And breathe here. Go through that 4-part dynamic release breath one more time. Taking an inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale through the nose. And exhale however feels good for you. Whew. We'll slowly bend through the right leg, planting the hands on either side, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, feeling really stable in our feet here, engaging through the core. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms up for our high crescent lunge. Taking a big inhale and exhale to settle into this pose. We'll take an inhale, this time straightening through the front leg. And as we exhale, we're going to extend the arms long in front of us, finding a flat back, and then folding all the way over the front leg. So again, a really intense stretch in the back of this leg. Only this time we're keeping our back leg straight as well, high on the ball of the foot on the left side. Blocks, books, pillows, whatever you need underneath of you to really bring the earth a little bit closer under the hands can be helpful. And then really let the neck go, let the head go, hang heavy. Notice what kind of exhale you might naturally be wanting to take here. Sometimes releasing with that sigh can really help us let go of any tension that we're holding on to. We'll slowly begin to bend back into the legs. We're going to root the back edge of the left foot down and then windmill the arms open into our warrior two. Really feeling rooted through both feet here, trying to get the front knee to track over the front ankle. Nice soft gaze out over the middle finger. We'll take an inhale here. And then as we exhale, we'll come into our extended side angle. So the elbow can come down to the leg. We're really trying to open up through the left side of the body, feeling this stretch all the way from the pinky of our hand down to the pinky and the toe. If it's in your practice, you may also want to extend the right arm down to the earth, or maybe even come into your bind, wrapping the left arm behind you and clasping the hands. Breathe here. Release the bind if you have it. And then we'll slowly come back up into warrior two. Inhale, straightening through the leg, reaching the arms up high. We're gonna pigeon toe the foot so you're facing towards the left side of your mat. And then we'll exhale, folding between the legs. Really take a moment here. Hang heavy between the legs. Maybe even grabbing opposite elbows here and rocking side to side. We'll slowly bring the hands back under the shoulders, walk the hands over towards the front of the mat, bending through the right leg, planting the hands. We'll step back to our downward facing dog. We'll go through our vinyasa, inhaling up to the balls of the feet, waving the spine forward to plank. Rock forward on your tippy toes and lower all the way or halfway to the earth. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Really savor this moment. And then exhale back to your downward facing dog. We'll take that on the other side, bringing the feet to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale the left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. And then exhale, silently step the foot between the hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the back toe. And inhale up for our low crescent lunge. Take a moment to find this pose, maybe coming out of it first. Feeling that slight tuck of the tailbone, so we're really lengthening the space in the low back. And then if there's room, we can sink a little bit further forward. Take one more big inhale here. And then as we exhale, we're swooping the hands forward, forward, forward. And then coming back, straightening through the left leg into our half splits. In our half splits, we almost want to feel like we're pushing our left hip back. Finding length in the spine first, and then folding over the leg. We'll hold here for just a moment. Taking long, slow inhales through the nose. And this time, choosing for yourself. Maybe you want to go through all of the 4 parts. Maybe you just want to exhale out of your nose, sticking with your Ujjayi breath. Maybe you want to release with a sigh. We'll slowly begin to bend through the left leg, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, getting really stable here in the legs, engaging through the core, and then coming up into our high crescent lunge. Again, you should feel a slight tuck of the tailbone. So sometimes that means you might have to bend through the back knee a little bit, but that's good if it's giving you more space in your low back. We don't want any pinching feelings in the low back. Take another big inhale here, straightening through the front leg. And then as we exhale, we're gonna extend, reaching forward, and then folding all the way over the left leg. We're high on the ball of the right foot, really trying to level off the hips here as much as possible. And then folding over the leg, really feeling like we're trying to bring our chest all the way to the knee or to the thigh. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let something go. Sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background. We'll slowly begin to bend through the left knee. We'll plant the right foot down on the back, coming into our warrior two, windmilling the arms open and to the side. Feeling really rooted through both feet. Front knee over the front ankle, making sure that we're relaxed through the shoulders. Sometimes I even like to drop my arms, give myself a nice shoulder roll, and then extend long again. Soft gaze over the front middle finger. Take an inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna come into our extended side angle. So we can have the elbow on the knee. We don't wanna put a lot of weight in it though. So sometimes it might even feel good to try placing it to the side or extending the arm down. But we wanna feel this nice opening all the way on the right side from our hand, down through the rib cage, and long through the leg. Again, you can lower the arm all the way down to the earth. You may even want to come into your bind, so bringing the right hand all the way down and clasping underneath of the left thigh. Really spiraling the rib cage open if you're in your bind. Releasing the bind if you have it, coming back up into our warrior two. We'll inhale, straighten the leg, reaching up, pigeon toe the left foot over, and then coming into a wide-legged forward fold, facing the opposite side of the mat. Again, we'll go through our 4-part dynamic release breath here. Taking a nice slow inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. This time let it go with a sigh. Inhale through the nose. And let it go however feels good for you. Whew. We'll bring our hands underneath of the shoulders and then slowly walk towards the top of the mat, bending through the left leg, planting the hands, stepping back to our downward facing dog. Staying here, or we'll go through one last vinyasa for class. Inhaling to the balls of the feet, rippling the spine forward into plank. Rock forward on the tippy toes, and exhale, lower all the way or halfway. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. And then exhale, back downward facing dog. Slowly come down onto the knees, finding a child's pose. We'll either keep the knees together or you can have them as wide as the mat. Extending the arms forward, resting the forehead on the earth. Taking this moment to really catch your breath, really slow it down as much as possible. Nice, slow inhale through the nose. Nice, slow exhale through the nose. We'll inhale, coming up, sitting on the back of the heels, and then either come onto your right or left hip. We're gonna come down onto our back. So really, however feels good for you to get there. You may need to scoot on your mat just a little bit. We're gonna hug the knees in towards the chest. And we're gonna take one more spinal twist now that we're at the end of our practice. It'll feel really good. It'll probably feel a little bit more open than you were at the beginning of practice. So go ahead and plant the soles of the feet on the earth. We'll cross the right leg over the left, really making sure there's no gap in between the thighs. So we're bringing the legs all the way together. We'll take the arms wide to a T, lift the hips and shift them over to the right just a little bit, and then drop the knees down towards the side. We can bring our gaze over the right shoulder, really feeling like both of our shoulders are rooted into the earth. That's going to help bring this twist all the way through the spine. Notice your breath. In these twists, it might feel just a little bit more constricted, but still staying present to it. Notice how you're filling your rib cage with every inhale, and really releasing and sinking into the twist on the exhale. We'll slowly bring our knees back up through center, scooching them over towards the center of the mat, uncrossing the legs, pausing here for just a moment. Noticing how that feels on the one side. And then this time we'll cross the left leg over top of the right, lifting the hips a little bit. We'll shift them over to the left and then drop the knees down to the right. Again, we can bring the gaze over the left shoulder. Even as we're winding down practice, seeing if you can still stay present to this moment. Keeping the focus on the breath is a really great way to do that. We'll slowly bring the knees back up through center, scooching the hips so they're center, giving the knees a hug one more time, squeezing everything in. And then we'll slowly come to our final resting pose for practice, Shavasana. Legs are extended long on the mat. Arms are out to the side, palms up towards the ceiling, taking up as much space as feels good for you. Don't ever feel like you have to have your arms super close to your sides or your legs all the way together. Just letting the muscles go, feeling the earth holding you. Take one more big inhale, filling the belly and the lungs, holding at the top for just a moment. And then exhale, really let everything go, returning to a normal breath for Shavasana. little bit of movement back into your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, you'll reach your arms up, around, overhead, like you're taking that first stretch of the day, really lifting the spine off of the mat. And then exhale, let that go with a sigh. Come on to either your right or left side, keeping your eyes closed or your focus inward, coming into a fetal position. Take a big inhale, filling the back of the heart, the back of the lungs. And exhale, make your way up to a seated position. Finding a nice tall spine, we'll bring our hands to heart center, palms to touch, thumbs against the sternum. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in this yoga practice. I post new videos every Sunday, so you can have a new practice each week. I hope that you'll visit again soon. Bye.